Guys, air conditioning! So my sister's in the kitchen editing something together and the rest of my family's out shopping or at work. Our emotions. So other than the dolls, I actually have my room mostly to myself today, and I was like, Hannah, vlog! So here's 5 things I own that a more normal person probably wouldn't. Number 1. Bomsey the Undead Lamb. He was actually sewn by my grandmother to be either a dead or dying lamb in a church Easter production, in which he was hit by a chariot and then healed by Jesus, which means he was switched out with this lamb. Fancy magic trick style. Possession number 2. This photo album. It looks fairly normal belonging-ish, right? Don't worry, it's not filled with pictures of dead people. But it is probably the greatest evidence that I have that no matter how much of a pack rat I am now, I am not as bad as the small child I was when I first owned this album. Though I think the fact that I still have my chocolate Easter bunny from 2011 might possibly be enough evidence to still dispute that. The pictures contained within it are all either taken by accident or taken so poorly that most normal people would have gotten rid of them. Some of them are even pictures that were discarded by other people. Here's a random rock formation and a puddle. Here's a lady with parrots who'd had no idea her picture was being taken. Here's the back of my sister's head at Christmas. Scarily, I have multiple pictures of the bird lady who did not know her picture was being taken. Outline of a gorilla. And a stalker shot of some lemurs and a zookeeper. Childhood. Number 3. Ian. Knowing the overwhelming number of dolls I already share a room with, one of which is wielding a mallet and several which are not currently attached to their heads, Ian doesn't look overly strange or creepy. He's even perpetually expressing his love for you. Though admittedly there is no exclamation point, and his arms are clearly not stretching to their fullest possible capacity. So it's more of a calm statistical statement. I love you this much. But that's not the weird part. I found our dear googly-eyed Ian on the side of the road, in the same cardboard box of free stuff as one of the llamas on the shelf behind me. I originally picked him up with the intention of leaving him on a random neighbor's porch, especially with the slim hope that it would be the same neighbor who tried to get rid of him in the first place. And in the meantime, I stored him in random shady locations around my bedroom, always sure to position him where he was staring at my sister. And then one day I happened to pick him up and turn him over, and on his base is the name Ian, the number 12, and the year 1973. And since that day, I cannot 100% convince myself that he is weighted with sand and not some poor stranger's ashes. And so I am his careful caretaker forever. I do promise number 4 isn't nearly as creepy, especially since it's not actually a physical belonging, but an aspect of my ever-neglected Google Plus account. For anyone who hasn't heard of Google Plus, it is basically Facebook without users and yet another step towards Google's ultimate world domination. On Google Plus, you can sort your friends into circles, and you can create endless circles for family members, people you wish were family members, why are these people following me, whatever you want. My own favorite circle is titled Karpinski. It's a circle for people with the last name of Karpinski, which probably wouldn't be all that eccentric if I knew anyone with the last name of Karpinski. Right now it's just an empty circle. And finally, here is my bunny. There's really not anything particularly strange about him, except for maybe the fact that he's named after a cross-dressing anime character who changes into a rabbit when he hugs a person of the opposite gender. I just felt like introducing you to him. So, I really don't have a clever way to end this video. Not that any of my other endings were clever. But I've noticed that I have mentioned an internal organ in every video so far. And I don't want to ruin that now, so pancreas. Bye!